the more vulnerable and willing you are to share, the faster we can find solutions to your issues.
Originating from deep inside the Rocky Mountains, transported through the power of the internet, and arriving inside your tiny earbuds. It's the Appraiser Coach Podcast, helping appraisers increase their efficiency, quality, and make more money. Here's the guy who makes it his life's mission to create value for real estate appraisers nationwide. Your host and the Appraiser Coach, Dustin Harris.
Welcome back to the program. Dustin Harris hanging out once again in the podcast chair. We're sponsored today by Synapse. Synapse allows you to be able to support your adjustments. Kind of important these days. Support your adjustments with Synapse by going to synapseforappraisers.com. Again, synapseforappraisers.com. And of course, we're sponsored by Working RE magazine. Working RE is the place that I go to find out more about the profession that I've chosen to spend my life in. Again, kind of important. WorkingRE.com, WorkingRE.com. All right, folks, I want to talk today, probably a short podcast, unless I do what I normally do and then have diarrhea of the mouth. But I always hated that phrase. It's just gross. The idea of, well, let's just start with the idea of coaching in and of itself, right? Why do people do coaching? People get coached, whether it be through a group coaching, such as the mastermind, or individual coaching, such as things I do all day, every day. Like I just got done with 2 sessions this morning, one-on-one with individuals and helping them through their issues and their struggles and their questions and their clarity on, direction, and helping to hold their feet to the fire with regard to the goals that they have set and some accountability. But people in general get coaching because they understand that in order to be successful, we really can't do it alone, folks. And I mean that sincerely, right? We like to beat our chest and take credit for, the success that we do. And don't misunderstand. I am a believer in self-control and self-direction and self-motivation. And though I don't know that it takes a village, it kind of does, right? No successful person has done it on their own. They understand that they have to utilize the services and the abilities and the knowledge of people around them. Now, some might say, well, I never had a coach and I was successful. That's fine, right? But I guarantee you had a coach. It may not have been, I paid for one-on-one coaching, but you spent time, listening and watching and reading, right? In order to learn the things. We really don't have very many unique ideas, right? Most of our ideas come from other places. They're a culmination of other individuals and their brain power and the energy that's in the atmosphere, right? But people come to a coach because they want that boost. They want that strength. They want that leg up, if you will. And it is my pleasure and my privilege and my honor to do that. Had a coaching client this morning, and one of the things that he said was, Dustin, I am going to be your greatest testimonial. I'm going to be your new poster child. And I loved that. He listed about 6 or 7 things, and they were all really good goals. And I thought, wow, normally as a coach, I have to kind of direct my clients to find the best goals for them that will help them to get to that next level. And he was already there. And then he said, Dustin, I'm going to be your greatest success story. I'm excited. I'm motivated. All of these goals will be accomplished by the next time we meet, which, by the way, is only next week, right? Most people don't meet week after week. They, at least have a couple of weeks in between our sessions, because that just gives them some time to accomplish. He is motivated and energized, and I have no doubt that he'll have all, or at least a majority of those goals accomplished between now and the next time that we meet. And that's cool about coaching, right? It's not just about the ideas. It's not just about the direction, but it's also about the ability to actually, not ability, the action to get them done, right? I can work with you all day long and we can work together and suggest things that need to be done. But unless you do them, right? I'm getting a little bit off in the weeds, but the idea here is individuals will often come back to me after a period of time working with me and they'll say, Dustin, thank you, thank you, thank you. Could not have done this without you. And I will always turn that back and say, you could not have done this if you had not done it, right? This is on you. We might have come up with some ideas together. I might have shared with you some principles and practices, but in the end, unless you do it, right, it just doesn't get done. Now, I'm going to share with you one other really key element to success in coaching. But first, I want to pause and remind you that we have a lot of success with Synapse. Synapse is the ability to support your adjustments. Folks, more and more and more, you're being asked by your AMCs, your clients, the state boards, right, to support your adjustments. Everybody's out there complaining about bias, right, and racial bias or whatever it is, fill in the blank bias, right? Do you want to know the secret to success, folks, in not having that claim have any teeth on you? It's to support your adjustments, to stop making silly, lick your finger, stick it in the air, and guess on your adjustments. Folks, if you want to have a rock solid report and you want to do it easily, right? This doesn't take a lot of extra work. Synapse is your solution. Trust me on this, folks. Try it out. You will thank me. Synapse4appraisers.com. Again, synapse4appraisers.com. All right, folks. Working RE has been a sponsor here for years and years and years. Love the editors over at Working RE. Isaac Peck has been on this program many, many times. Folks, this is a group of people who get it when it comes to appraisers. And just like Synapse will shortcut your ability to have a solid appraisal, Working RE will shortcut your education. Meaning, if you want to know what's going on in the field of valuation, and you don't want to have to go out there and gather all that information yourself, let Working RE do the work. It's free, folks. Sign up for their free blog. They will send you information on a weekly basis, and you will know what's going on in your industry so you can make the right decisions moving forward. You can learn more and sign up for their free newsletter at workingre.com. Again, workingre.com. All right, folks, welcome back to the program. Today, we are talking a little bit about coaching, but more importantly about success, right? The ability to reach out to someone else and say, help me. I need some help. I need some assistance. I need a leg up is key, right? A lot of my success, I'll be honest with you, came from self-learning. So it can be done that way, but it is a long school of hard knocks process to get there. Now, again, just like I said before the break, I want to make it clear, even if that is your chosen path, you're still standing on the shoulders of giants, whether it be through their books or biographies or autobiographies or you name it, right? You're learning about other people. You're seeing what worked and what didn't work. You're letting them create the wheel so then you can then copy it for yourself, okay? But it will go so much faster if you have a coach. And if you want to quadruple the speed that you are successful, I want to share with you a principle. The principle here is the principle of vulnerability, okay? Now, vulnerability has a negative connotation in the world, right? If you're vulnerable, you're weak. I will make a stand today, folks, and say the exact damn opposite is true. Those who are willing to be vulnerable will receive help faster than those that don't. And being vulnerable is laying it out there and trusting that that information is going to be respected. Okay. So let me share with you just briefly two examples. And one's going to be a specific example, one's going to be a general example. Okay. So first, the general example. When I meet one-on-one with individuals, I always let them know in writing, and I usually let them know orally, everything that we talk about is confidential. Okay. I'm not going to share it anywhere else. Now, do I share stories out there and allude to things like I will today in just a second? Sure. But no one can pinpoint that individual and who that individual is, right? I'm going to respect your name. I'm going to respect your reputation. I'm going to respect you as a client. I'm not going to share anything that would put that at jeopardy. Okay. So you can trust that anything that you share with the appraiser coach will stay with the appraiser coach, right? What happens in coaching stays in coaching. But I will tell you this, folks, those who are willing to lay it on the line and be vulnerable with me allows them to get to a better place much faster. Okay. Think of it, and I am not in any way a therapist, although some of these sessions do turn into similar things, right? The other day, I actually, it was almost marriage counseling, right? Almost, I say, right? I had a husband and wife on together. They worked together, and we had a great session, 45-minute session, where both of them in the same room on Zoom with me. Okay. I wasn't in the same room, but I was on Zoom talking to both of them. They were very vulnerable with me and vulnerable with each other. And I guarantee we got further along the line than we could have otherwise. My point is this: in general, the more vulnerable and willing you are to share, the faster we can find solutions to your issues. Okay. Now, let me give you a specific example that just happened recently. I was in a mastermind, I won't tell you where. And there were, 7, 8 people around the table. And it was someone's couch session. And this individual talked about some of the hopes and dreams that this person had. I'm not even going to tell you the gender. I'm going to try not to. Okay. And this person's spouse is a bit of a challenge to helping this person get to where they want to go. Okay. And this person was willing and able to be very vulnerable with the group. Now, one of the things this person said was, if my spouse ever hears about this, I will deny it completely and disassociate with myself. Now, he said it in joking, right? He said it with a wink and a laugh. Okay. But he didn't have to say that. The point is everybody around that table is family. And we respect and honor every single person at that table. I promise you that this person had more breakthroughs and more ability to move to the next level because they were willing to lay it out and be very vulnerable and say, listen, here is my situation and I am struggling. And every single person around that table felt empathy for that person, and every single person around that table had advice, great advice, and direction for that individual. That's what a mastermind is all about, folks. I can promise you, the more vulnerable you are willing to be and able to be in coaching one-on-one or masterminds or even in the all-star team, we're going to treat that information with respect and honor. And I promise you, if you're willing to be vulnerable and tell us the truth and tell us where you're at, that is where you're going to see some breakthroughs. If I can be of help, I would love to. The coach at theappraisercoach.com is how you get a hold of me, or you can go to my website, theappraisercoach.com. Again, theappraisercoach.com. Thanks for joining me. Go create some value.
You've been listening to the Appraiser Coach podcast with Dustin Harris. If you like what you hear, please give us a 5-star rating and post a short review on iTunes. For more in-depth insider information on how you can make more money as a real estate appraiser, visit theappraisercoach.com and sign up for the All-Star team today. Thanks for joining us. And now, get out there and create some value.